So I want you to welcome them. I don't want to take much more of their time, but I want to be able to have plenty of time to tell you about what they do. And I know that they will inspire you, and because as they have inspired me when they talk about their heart for God and their passion for Him and what God is doing in their lives. Come, Mike and Michelle, share.
Good morning. We are Mike and Michelle Collins. We are in the process, as Pastor Pat said, of becoming full-time missionaries with the International House of Prayer in Atlanta. We want to thank you for having us here. We are grateful for what God is doing in missions and prayer, and we're excited to connect the lost and the broken to the heart of God. When we do reach our budget, we will become full-time missionaries with, as I said, IHOP Atlanta. And when we are, we will spend 40 hours a week in the prayer room, all right? Basically, 24 of those hours will be seeking God's face, as Pastor Pat said, just seeking His face and enjoying time alone, intimacy, with Him. Basically, the first commandment: love your God with your entire heart, soul, mind, and strength. And then from that place of intimacy, we go out and do the second commandment, which is love others like we love ourselves. So what we will be doing the other 16 hours a week is we will first be doing evangelism, all right, going out in the streets and, loving on people, all right. Second way we'll be doing that is through teaching and training missionaries. So I'm going to let Michelle let you know about, how we're doing that. For shortness of time, we're going to share two things with you: what IHOP Atlanta is and how we're going to walk out on calling.
Well, good morning. It's great to be here. What a blessing, your worship team. I love you, sister. You got my heart. This was like home. This was the atmosphere of the house of prayer. Gazing on the face of Jesus, adoring Him, telling Him how beautiful He is. It's Psalm 27:4. One thing have I desired, that will I seek, that I would gaze upon the beauty of the Lord, that I would dwell in His house all the days of my life, and I would inquire in His temple. Lord, what are you saying? Lord, how do you feel about me? Lord, what's your heart for me? Lord, what's your heart for them? Lord, what's your heart? Because that's where it's at. God's a partner. He wants partnership with us. He doesn't do anything in the earth alone. He wants a partner. He wants you. He wants you. Just where you are. If you're in your workplace, if you're a mom, if you're in the house of prayer. And my husband and I, 11 years ago, actually we've only been married 3 years, but 11 years ago I was up the street here working at Cincinnati Insurance Companies. Anybody know CFC up the road? I was working there as an underwriter, and 11 years ago God said, I want you. I want you. And I grew up down the road at Tri-County Assembly of God Church, big missions church. And the Lord brought missionaries all the time and was planting seeds in my little 12-year-old heart, 13-year-old heart, 14. And the day I resigned from my job, the Lord gave me Isaiah 6:8. And I said, Lord, I don't know what that is. So I pulled out my Bible. I was sitting at my desk, and it was Isaiah's commission. And I read. So the Lord said, whom then shall I send? And Isaiah said, here I am, Lord, send me. And right then the Lord showed me a vision of my life and a flashback just in a moment of every time I would answer the altar call at Tri-County Assembly of God when a missionary would come. And they'd say, who wants to go? And I'd respond, and the Lord said, see, Michelle, I saw you every time, and now I'm sending you.
Hallelujah.
On the very day I was resigning, a step of faith, and He says, yes, yes, because He's such a generous God. He'll encourage you. You just take that step of faith, and He'll say yes, and He'll confirm whatever that is, because it starts with the small yeses of the heart.
Hallelujah.
The small yeses. What's the little things He's asking you to do? Say yes. And so I just wanted to encourage you with that. So 11 years ago, I launched out and served at the House of Prayer in Kansas City. 3 years ago, met my husband. We met and married. He was in the marketplace his whole life, and the Lord had other plans. 3 days before our wedding, he lost his job. That's one way to get you going. Jump out of the boat, throw you out of the boat, whatever it takes. And the Lord had plans to now launch us as a couple as full-time missionaries. So he planted us sovereignly at the House of Prayer in Atlanta. And so we've been there 2 years, and he's given both of us a desire to serve together. Like Mike said, we're in the process of joining full-time staff. I just want to see who has heard of IHOP before, IHOP Atlanta.
Is that the House of Pancakes?
They did own the name first, but it's the International House of Prayer. And to give you a picture of what it is, it's an evangelical mission space that has 24-hour prayer and worship at the center of everything they do. So just like this morning, the worship team on the stage, picture that 24 hours a day. Every hour, another team will come on and minister to the Lord. So whether it's 2 a.m. or 2 p.m., somebody's always worshiping Jesus because he's worthy. He's worthy, and that's our first core value. Amen. He's worthy of our worship day and night, and that's our first core value. Exalt Jesus day and night just because he's worthy. And out of that place of intimacy, then we go. And we minister. We have evangelism. We do discipleship. We pray for the sick. We call them in and go out. We go out 4 times a week. We do missions from the neighborhood to the nations. And so 4 times a week, IHOP Atlanta sends teams out to the mall and to the college campus right across the street. And we share the love of God. Lord, break in right now. Heal them. Boom. Set them free. Change their life in a moment. And so we minister in the neighborhood, and we also have international missionaries that we train up and launch in 6 different countries. We have 24 full-time missionaries. And Mike and I are going to have the privilege, when we're on staff, of coaching and training the missionaries, as well as doing the evangelism. A quick story about the evangelism. We were in the mall. We go out in a team, we pray, we break up into 2s and say, Lord, who do you have? And we approach people and say, hey, do you have a minute to talk about God? And a lot of people will say, sure. Some people say no, but if they say yes, we begin to just share Jesus, who he is and what he did, and let them ask questions. And this one young man, Jeff, was standing by himself, and we approached him. And he said, yeah, I have a minute. So we started to share Jesus with him, and he was listening. And at the end, he goes, wow. I was just on the phone with my girlfriend last night. She told me she wished I had a close relationship with God. And we said, really? And so that just, boom, opened it right up. He knew God's got my number, and he's after me. And so that's our heart. We want to connect the lost and the broken to the heart of God. And we would love to connect with you. We're in town 2 more weeks. Do you want to share a little bit more?
Yes. So as we said, we're in town for 2 more weeks. Once we reach our budget, then we can be full-time missionaries with IHOP. So that's what we're doing, is basically going out sharing with churches and individuals to see if they want to partner with us. Because IHOP Atlanta, nobody that is a missionary with IHOP Atlanta gets a salary, doesn't get housing or food allowance. And we all build a partnership team so we can spend all our time honoring and worshiping Jesus 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We've been doing this in Atlanta for 12 years straight, nonstop. So that's really what the push is, to devote your entire heart to it. I just wanted to add one more thing, is what really took me, I used to be a degreed electrical engineer, loving work, and Michelle's been a missionary for 11 years. I was expecting to be in the marketplace while she does the ministry, and then when I retire. And as she said, I lost my job 3 days before the wedding, and we ended up down in Atlanta. They have an internship. It's usually $1,000 for the internship, and when we were doing it, they gave it away free, and they're still doing it free. So if anybody has a heart to do it, they're doing the internship. So you spend 3 months just seeking God's face, taking classes, spending 24 or more hours a week in the prayer room. So if that excites any of you, the internship is free. And that's what changed my life completely. All right? Yep, IHOP, it's ihop-atlanta.com. And then also, we're going to be here Wednesday evening. Patrick has invited us. we're going to be doing a worship night, and Michelle and I are going to be basically facilitating what at IHOP Atlantis worship is called a harp and bowl. All right, it's the harp to symbolize the music, but then the bowls are the bowls that catch the incense, which are the prayers of the saints here from Revelation 8:5. So if you're interested, please show up Wednesday evening. And we have a booth right outside. If you want information or speak to us, we do a monthly newsletter, and we send out an update monthly in an email if you'd like to get that. All right? Thank you.
God bless you.
Bless you guys. We appreciate them, don't we? We want to be a part of what God is doing in their lives. I'm telling you, I have had I've been messed up. Is that okay to say from the pulpit? Right. I've been messed up for some time as it relates to what God is calling me to and us to as a church family in the area of prayer and hosting heaven. I mean, no, that's a process.